Welcome back to What Culture Wrestling. I am Gareth here. It's a lovely Sunday, so you know what I'm going to do? As a treat, I'm going to tell you about all the awesome news that's dropped in the last, 24 hours since I last saw you. So, first thing I want to talk about today is Drew McIntyre. As you must know at this point, he's gone on a hell of a WWE Championship run. He won that belt from Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and he's just never looked back since. He's smashed the likes of Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, now looks set to smash Dolph Ziggler to pieces at the horror show at Extreme Rules. That's never going to get easy to say. And yeah, I think he's pretty much undefeated in singles competition in 2020, so he's gone on a bit of a tear. But now there are a few reports swirling around the internet that Randy Orton could be the next star in line for him to take on. That could be his feud going into SummerSlam, which would be pretty cool. And McIntyre himself said in an interview, I think it was with Talk Sport, that he'd love to go head-to-head with the Viper because he thinks he's doing some of his best work of his career right now, which is really hard to argue with because Orton's looked awesome all the way through, probably since from Edge onwards when he started that feud with Edge. He's just never missed a step in that feud. He's looked like an absolute sadistic piece of crap, and yeah, I think he's the perfect foil for McIntyre at this point because you've got this hard as nails ultra babyface that everyone really adores at this point taking on the most hated man in the company, so it could be awesome. But another rumor, throwing all the rumors at you. Another rumor, according to Wrestling News, is that Orton could potentially beat McIntyre at SummerSlam, which sounds like blasphemy at this point because McIntyre's done so well. But this isn't a way of punishing him. This isn't decelerating his push or anything like that. It's been reported that it's a way of giving him something to strive towards and something to build towards for next year's WrestleMania. So if he does lose that belt to Orton, well, two things could happen. Orton then could go into a great WWE Championship feud with Edge, and we could potentially see Edge become WWE Champion, which is insane in 2020. I'm here for that. But then equally, it gives McIntyre just another chance to have an epic, crowd-warming, brilliant moment at a WrestleMania, which he sort of got robbed of this year because this was his big moment, his big comeback WWE moment. He was finally reaching the top of the mountain and the global bastard took it away from him. So I'm here for this. It would mean that we have 2 years in a row McIntyre is winning the big one at WrestleMania, which is awesome. So I don't know, if these rumors turn out to be true, I'm totally okay with it. So Tommaso Ciampa, you may know, has been missing on WWE television, on NXT TV for quite some time now. He's not been seen since TakeOver In Your House, and that was when he lost, obviously, to Karrion Kross. Many people have been thinking maybe, is he, injured? Is he just, does NXT just not have anything for him at this point? Well, the answers have now become apparent, clear. He's given them to us, so let's go into it. So the former NXT champion has wrote on his Instagram, I'm going to read out the full quote. He put, "Number 1, I miss 2018 Ciampa. Number 2, the wrestling business, like life, is full of waves, highs and lows. One moment you feel untouchable, the next you come crashing down. Giving up the title is definitely one of my career lows, and to be honest, damn near everything that's happened in my career since has been a disappointment. A few glimpses of highs here and there, my face-off with Adam when I returned, and War Games comes to mind, but lots of lows, the chase to reclaim Goldie, the final chapter with Johnny, and most recently my encounter with Cross." And they said number 3, motivation is a fascinating trait. Throughout my career, I've often found that creating false dialogue has led to my greatest internal motivation. In 2018, I created a scenario in my head in which nobody believed in me. It drove me. In 2020, after weeks of being left off television, yes, I'm healthy, I find myself with a new false dialogue. Creative has nothing for you. Whether or not this is true really doesn't matter because in my head, it's true. In 2018, I willed my vision into existence. Well, today, I have a new vision. And surprisingly enough, I'm hungrier than ever. It's time to evolve. It's time to catch that next wave and reach the next high. So there's no questioning that Ciampa is probably one of the best performers on NXT on his day. He's just outstanding. He's one of the most well-rounded characters that they have at their disposal at this point. But it feels like in a way he's just getting lost in the shuffle a bit, which seems insane when you think of this caliber of star. So if this is going to motivate him, if this creating this false dialogue, as he calls it, if planting that into his brain and him making it seem like the entire world's against him helps kick him into gear a little bit, then yeah, cool, I'm all here for that. If this means we're going to get a second coming of Ciampa in like a 2018 version of Ciampa, then that's just going to be, it's going to be another notch on NXT's belt when he comes back. I think it's a good idea keeping him off TV for a little bit because NXT is quite crowded right now with stars really smashing it left, right and centre. There's a lot of good feuds going on. I feel like if we just throw him in there without any real plan, he'll just get lost again. Yeah, so at this point, maybe give Keith Lee and Karrion Kross that feud for a while, just see where that goes, and then after that, then possibly you could have Tommaso coming in. Just imagine if Karrion Kross wins the title, and then Tommaso Ciampa comes back to get revenge against him for losing against Takeover, and then goes for Goldie. I think that makes a bit more sense as a story. So if you watched any of the What Culture news, or maybe even watched the Smackdown review that myself and Phil Chambers did yesterday, you will know that Smackdown was just a bit weird. Really, not the strongest show we've seen in the last couple of weeks, and arguably the weirdest moment that we saw on that show was a karaoke off thing contest. It was just odd. But if there was, let's say, a winner in this karaoke segment, which is really, really pushing it, you would say it was Naomi. She did actually win it. So she's posted a thing on her Instagram now about the karaoke segment. She said, "I don't start mess, I finish it, Lacey Evans. This ain't over, heifer. And sorry, brother, Oosey Juicy. I was trying to drag her, not you." So, yeah, she put that. And then afterwards, when it'd been on there for a little bit and it festered with the fans, one fan reached out to Naomi and popped up a little message saying, I would probably prefer to see you all wrestle really than do karaoke. And she replied by saying, "Yeah, me too, but a lot of times we have to make chicken salad out of chicken poop emoji. I'm so sorry." So this, for me, it alludes to something I was speaking to Phil about yesterday. It's that a lot of people in that segment just looked like they didn't want to be there, which is understandable, but WWE as a company, you should not be in a position where your performers are literally stood there in the middle of a ring just wanting to be anywhere else but there. I mean, you've got 4 outstanding women all in that ring there who can put on some brilliant matches, and they've just been used to sing Triple H's theme and Dusty Rhodes' theme and Jeff Jarrett's theme. It was just so many things wrong with it, but it's nice to know that the stars involved aren't just being ignorant and oblivious to it. They know how bad it is. They just had to make that chicken salad out of the chicken poop emoji. Right, so this one feels like it's come out of left field a little bit, but apparently Kofi Kingston seems to think that Charlize Theron, of all people, would have a bit of a future, a bit of a career in WWE if she wanted it. This comes after Kingston was speaking to Charlize Theron about her new movie, The Old Guard. It was on like a WWE YouTube video. Go and check it out if you want to. But he, when talking about if she would be the right fit when it comes to being a WWE superstar, he said, "I think you might actually have a career or a future if you wanted it as a WWE superstar, because there are a lot of those similarities." I think he means in the world of acting and everything else. He said, "You're talking about discipline. The fact that, again, for you to be able to pick up those moves so naturally, like I would love to see you go one-on-one with a Becky Lynch or like a Sasha Banks, you know what I mean? Or Bayley or Charlotte. I feel you would fit right in." So he's obviously alluding to the fact that Charlize Theron's played a lot of badass action characters recently. And yeah, I could see that. I could see her fitting in possibly into the world of wrestling. I mean, she's quite a big fan of UFC and MMA anyway, and she's quite an active person. You just see that in any of her films. So I could see that happening. But she did have a response, which thankfully was positive. She didn't just say, "Oh, no, not a chance in hell, are you crazy?" She said, "Wow, is this an invite? Yes, when and where? I know we're in a crisis situation right now, so it's not anytime soon, but that sounds awesome, and I will get my ass kicked." Which, yeah, okay, if you want to admit that. So that would be really entertaining for everyone to watch, because I am a mere actor. But that would be so much fun. And then she then added, "I'm taking you up on this." So, I don't know, maybe in the future when we have fans back in arenas and all the stars come back to WWE and the rest of it, we could see Charlize Theron probably. I'd like to see a tag with Ronda Rousey, because I think that'd be really cool. Because yeah, I could see Theron leaning into that MMA side of things because she is such a vocal fan of it. And then like going under the wing of Rousey, and you've got these 2 celebrities coming to hog all the limelight. Because I think Charlize Theron would play a really good heel as well. That'd be quite cool. And yeah, taking on Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks and people like this. I'm here for this. I didn't realise I was, but yeah, I am. Right, because it's a Sunday, we have to talk about the Smackdown ratings. Did they go up? Did they go down? You'll be pleased to know they went slightly up. It was a little bit of an improvement. And yeah, this is all according to Showbuzz Daily. They said that last night's episode of Friday Night Smackdown drew an average of 1.905 million viewers overnight, and that was an increase of 7.2% from the previous week's show, which was, I believe it was the all-time low for a show on Fox, for a SmackDown show on Fox. So yeah, it's an improvement. We're going in the right direction again. They also scored a 0.5 rating in the always important 18 to 49 demographic. And that was actually number 1 for the night. So well done, SmackDown. People obviously really enjoy seeing DQ finishes and roll-ups, which is, yeah, pretty much what SmackDown was. Oh, and there was karaoke. And finally, we've got a few matches that were announced for AEW Dark, which is happening this Tuesday, I believe. I had to think there. There's a lot of wrestling that goes down in the week. I forgot where it lands, when it lands. But it's happening. We've got all these matches coming out that AEW tweeted recently. They said we're going to see Serpentico and Luther versus Brady Pierce and Pineapple Pete. We're going to have Robert Anthony versus Ricky Starks. We're going to have Brandy Rhodes and Ali versus Rache, Chanel and Diamante. We're going to have Michael Nakazawa versus Marco Stunt. The Jurassic Express taking on Brandon Cutler and the Librarian Peter Avalon with the Librarian Lever Bates. I'm just, Sunday, mush mouth, it's not going very well. And then finally, the big match that we all want to talk about, the big thing that's going to go down on Dark. We're going to get the FTW champion, the newly crowned / given champion, Brian Cage, versus Brian Pillman Jr. So, yeah. There you go. There's an excuse to go and watch Dark this week. I know there's loads of wrestling content out there in the world right now. It's an awesome, brilliant time to be a wrestling fan. But AEW Dark is shaping up weekly at this point to be a can't-miss show. It's free. It's on YouTube. Go and check it out. It's definitely worth your time just to see Brian Cage and Brian Pillman just go at it. Brian Pillman Jr. And that has been our Sunday news. Thank you very much for joining me on this journey of twists and turns and highs and lows. Let me know what you think of today's news stories. We've obviously got Drew McIntyre potentially losing his WWE Championship to Randy Orton at SummerSlam. Tommaso Ciampa feeling like creative has nothing for him. And yeah, loads of things. Just let me know what all you think about all these stories. I'm getting very excited now because it's Sunday and I just get very excited on a Sunday. I have been Gareth from What Culture Wrestling. Follow me at gmorgan04 on Twitter and follow everyone here at What Culture at What Culture WWE. I just hope you have the best Sunday you can possibly have. You deserve it. You've powered through this week, and now as a reward, just chill out. Just chill out, watch loads of wrestling and have fun.